answers. So I'm going to briefly run through each of the products and then give you a chance for some question and answers and see what we can come up with. One little bottle of Cellfood takes 9 months to make. That's the entire process. And it's not just a chemical process in the development of the product. It's actually a recipe. In fact, it's been said many times by me, in fact, that if I were to give you the exact formulation of Cellfood, the exact amount of each ingredient in the product, you would still not be able to replicate our product because there's an actual recipe involved in the creation of the product. Cellfood, we found, when you combine it with other substances, if you can keep Cellfood dormant, which is the big chemistry challenge that we have, Cellfood actually increases the bioavailability of every nutrient that it comes in contact with. Interesting. So when you combine Cellfood with silica, you now have the most bioavailable and pure form of silica that is available to mankind. We began to look at things that the body no longer manufactures, and we discovered through some studies that the body at the age of 25 decreases the amount of its own internal production of silica. Wow, that's kind of a bummer. So after 25, your body is not as elastic as it was before. Anybody ever notice that? No, really? Gosh, Kev, didn't know that. Your skin becomes wrinkly. Anybody notice that? No. These are things that happen because your body doesn't have the important mineral silica. So at the age of 25, we see that the studies show that the amount of silica gradually decreases. So we decided to provide bioavailable silica to the bloodstream to help retard that process, that aging process. Along the way, we began to notice through studies that Cellfood Silica was being used by a lot of the professional and amateur athletes because it helped to reduce the recovery time in between physical activity periods. This was kind of neat because it's not something that we intended to do, but through the normal dosages of Cellfood Silica, they were able to decrease that rest period in between activity. One of the other nice things that we found about Cellfood Silica was for the ladies that increased the strength of nails and hair. Now, we don't want you to go out and pour Cellfood Silica on your head because it doesn't grow hair. I know. It doesn't work that way. But it does make the hair follicle much stronger. It does make teeth, nails, and gums much more stronger. The next product is the Cellfood DNA RNA, and I could probably spend a week talking about the Cellfood DNA RNA because in terms of the potential for a product, Cellfood DNA RNA is unequaled with the exception of Cellfood. We began to come across a considerable amount of studies using DNA RNA, ribonucleic acids. And the problem with the use of nucleic acids isn't one of ingesting nucleic acids. The problem is the delivery of those nucleic acids. All of the studies that we'd seen done are all done with with intravenous injections, intramuscular injections. It's the only way that they're able to get the DNA RNA into the human body because if you take it orally, it's destroyed in the digestive tract. So the only way to actually get nucleic acids into the body was through an injection process. We found a gentleman by the name of Dr. Todd Ovakaitis, who is a colleague of mine who I've been working with for probably close to 10 years now. And Dr. Todd, as he's known to everybody, has developed a photoacoustic laser that actually reshapes molecules. Now, I don't want to get too technical here and lose you on this, but he basically is able to take any shaped molecule and reshape it with a laser and reshape it so that it's the exact same size and the exact same shape as every receptor molecule inside your mouth. So when you take the product and you spray it into your mouth, because the molecules are the exact same size and shape as the receptor molecules in your mouth, you're able to absorb it through the mucosal tract and avoid digestion. We thought, wow, this is great. Is it real? It sounds really good. So we began to experiment with it, and sure enough, we were able to clinically show that the Cellfood DNA RNA was being absorbed and assimilated into the bloodstream. But an interesting thing happened along the way. We had really initially developed this to be a life extension product to live better and live longer. And we began to notice some interesting markers as we were doing some testing. The first marker that we noticed was that with each of the test subjects that were taking Cellfood DNA RNA orally in the sublingual spray, was that they were experiencing a dramatic decrease in homocysteine. We thought, wow, this is kind of weird. This isn't really something that we were going for, but let's follow this. So we followed the path a little bit. And it turns out that the specific formulation of the nucleic acids and trimethylglycine and adenosine triphosphate, this specific combination helps to reduce homocysteine in the bloodstream by up to 50%. Now, for those of you that don't know what homocysteine is, think of non-oxidized cholesterol. It's actually the most accurate bioavailable marker for cardiac risk. It's actually even more accurate than measuring your cholesterol. Homocysteine is much more accurate. So Cellfood has the ability, Cellfood DNA has the ability to lower homocysteine by up to 50%. Cellfood DHEA, what is it? Well, DHEA is a hormone precursor. It's the precursor to both estrogen and to testosterone. It actually is what regulates the production of those two hormones. And for those of us that suffer from swings in hormone production and hormonal changes, this is an incredible product. I end up using it with my wife a lot. I walk around behind her spraying her day and night. Whole back of her shirt's wet. She's going to bed, getting it all over the place. But it works, so it's worth it. It is a great way to help to regulate hormone activity. It truly, truly is.